Hey, what is up everybody? This is Finch and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. Today is the day we're playing LiLi, the little panda lady from Miss Pandaria, if you're familiar with that World of Warcraft expansion. And LiLi is a support hero in Heroes of the Storm. Probably one of the easiest support heroes in Heroes of the Storm, just due to the way her abilities work. They're very simple to just use. So if you look at over there on the left hand side of your screen, you got the Healing Brew, Cloud Serpent, the Blinding Wind, and then her two ultimates. The Healing Brew is just a heal, and it just, you hit the button and it heals somebody, and it doesn't even make you click on them. You don't have to choose which target is the priority because it prioritizes targets based on their health. So if you have three heroes in the same vicinity, whatever hero has the lowest health pool is going to be the target for that heal. The Cloud Serpent is a kind of a little buddy that you do have to click. Sadly, you have to click. I know it's hard. You have to click that on somebody else or yourself, and whenever you attack, the Cloud Serpent also does a little attack. This is really good for kind of sieging towers and bases and things. So if you have someone like Sergeant Hammer on your team, you can throw the Serpent on Sergeant Hammer, and then when she's firing away, shooting at the buildings, the towers, the forts, whatever it may be, you're getting a little bonus damage from that Serpent, which is always helpful. And then her last one is a Blinding Wind, and this does a damage and blind on enemy heroes all around you. It's a pretty small radius, but this is one of the abilities that I really like for LiLi, just because of the way you can use it for the talents. So you'll see this game, there's a couple different talents I take that makes this ability really good, and one of them is right away at level 1. It allows you to use the ability and hit all 5 targets. There's also another one later on in the game where you can get whatever target gets hit by Blinding Wind, they miss their next 2 auto attacks, which doesn't seem like much, but in a team fight, if you can hit that and it hits all 5 enemy heroes, and all 5 enemy heroes can attack twice, that's a lot of times, that's just enough. I mean, just the way Heroes of the Storm works with the health pools and the amount of burst damage and the way things just kind of go in this game, those 2 attacks could be enough to kind of completely win the fight for your team. Her 2 ultimates, you have a Jug of 1,000 Cups and you have the Water Dragon. Pretty self-explanatory if you look at the little tooltips for those. I mean, Jug of 1,000 Cups rapidly heals nearby allies. Water Dragon heavily damages and slows a group of nearby enemies. So in this game, you can see right here with our team lineup, I have a Malfurion on my team as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the Water Dragon because we already have an abundance of healing between him and myself, so there's no sense to have even more healing because there's gonna be overkill at that point. If Malfurion wasn't on our team, I was the only kind of support or the only healer class, then I'd probably maybe go for the Jug of 1,000 Cups because it might, you know, just kind of sustain those pushes and allow you to really, you know, keep going forward. And you'll see that this game, LiLi is just really good at sustaining pushes. There's a lot of times where you're sieging a base, you're kind of getting whittled away by, the enemy heroes. They have a Sergeant Hammer or something like that. Is just kind of, getting you low. You're wasting your mana. But if you have LiLi on your team, being able to throw out that flask for the heal and that mana regeneration, you can just stand there forever, and you can just keep just like, all right, eyes on the prize. We're going forward, and just keep on. It's right here, level 1. This game was a pretty good game, just kind of showcase what LiLi does. From level 1 though, Path of the Wizard is definitely very viable if you are finding yourself having mana issues. I didn't this game because I wanted to use the massive Vortex, that is the maximum number of targets hit by Blinding Wind increased to 5. Gale Force damage dealt by Blinding Wind is also increased by 25. That is okay. You're not really doing damage though, you're a support hero. And then Bribe and Healing Word are both totally fine. I'm not a big fan of Bribe just because there's a lot of better ways to take mercenary camps right now. And I'm not going to really be doing that. I'm going to be sticking with a buddy because I'm playing a support hero. So we're coming down to the Watchtower. The Watchtowers are super important, and surprisingly enough, I just run straight towards the enemy's Watchtower, and nobody's here. And so I just take that for free. These are very important, just as important as StarCraft. And they're kind of like the observer wards of this game. And you see here, Martin gets a little bit aggressive, and then my buddies come up, and I'm able to throw the dragon out myself, a little bit increased damage, and pick up an easy first kill. And then I just go back to being just support master LiLi. You know, it's a 1 versus 3 up there. I'm gonna go up there with Tychus, and we're just gonna heal. And if I can pick somebody off, great.
So weird.
I forgot I did that. It's just crazy, crazy aggressive, but I picked up the kill. Sadly, I die because of it, but not the end of the world. There's no need to dive that far this early in the game. We're down by 1 level, but you'll begin to see here once I get into the true power of LiLi, and that is just being able to harass and just trade efficiently. You can trade blows back and forth, and you're just going to be efficiently trading because things like that will heal. You know, Tychus would have died a little bit sooner, but he survived for just a little bit longer. We still killed him, but a lot of those times where there'll be heroes trying to escape, and they'll just barely survive because of the heals. So right now, between myself and Sergeant Hammer, we can just keep harassing, keep healing. The heal does restore a little bit of mana, so you can just constantly spam that out non-stop. Generally, kind of what I'm trying to do for all these fights is I want to stay close enough so I can get my blinding wind off and hit as many heroes with it as possible. I also want to try to make sure that I'm close enough to my allies to constantly be healing and using that on cooldown. So as you see right now, it's a 3-second cooldown. I'm just constantly spamming it. We had that fight, it was a 3-on-3. Nobody died, but they had to go back to heal up or go to their fountain, and we're able to stay here and siege the towers. It might not seem like a big win, but it actually is a huge win for us because if they pull back to go heal up, they're going to be out of experience for us to help our team. Right there, another perfect example of why the heal is awesome. Sergeant Hammer would have died, 2 heals, boom. She's able to escape, totally fine. Tychus and I are able to stay here and sustain the push. This is the level 4 one I was talking about for Lingering Blind. Enemies now miss their next 2 basic attacks. This was, you know, a build that I really like for LiLi because it just makes you kind of a team fight monster. Especially with Heroes of the Storm the way it is right now, is it's very team fight heavy. That is kind of a design choice just because of the way the game's worked out. But I'm able to jump in the middle of a team fight, use my blinding wind, and hit 5 enemy heroes, and now they're going to miss their attacks. And then meanwhile, I'm going to be healing all my allies. So you can just really push forward and kind of sustain yourself. See Martin here is getting a little, I don't know what he's doing. He's not going to be able to kill me, he's fighting both towers. Now this is one interesting part for this game. If you look on the mini-map right now, if you look at my teammates, they're all just going around taking the mercenary camps. You got Tychus taking the northwest camp. The whole rest of the team took the northeast and the east camp. Now they're taking the very center camp. I go down in the mines just because that's what you're kind of supposed to do, is go down to the mines and get skulls. This is definitely a very viable strategy. It's not as good as it used to be, but it's still very good. That is when the enemy team goes down into the mines to try to gather up the skulls. You just take all the mercenary camps and you just push in their base. The goal being to try to kill a fort, because if you kill a fort, you get that experience, so that is the key. That's what you're kind of vying for when you're experience. Level 7 now. This level is kind of underwhelming. Mule's fun because you can repair stuff. Clairvoyance is nice because it does give you kind of an observer ward. For this game I end up taking the good stuff, and it increases the amount restored from Healing Brew by 25%. The reason I do this is because I know the next rank, I don't know if it's the next rank or level 13, there's another ability that allows you to toss out 2 Healing Brews at the same time, so 2 heals. And I know that I'm going to get that, so I might as well make the heal better since I'll be using it. But what I was saying about this map, so this is the Haunted Mines. The whole point of the map is to go down here, get the kind of skulls to make your golem big, and make your golem big, you push in their base. If you notice, we took all 5 mercenary camps on the map, and look at the levels up there. We were down about a half a level, and now we're up about a 1.5 levels up. So, you know, I went down here, I collected some skulls, probably a waste of time. I probably should have stuck with my teammates, we could have pushed more. But that's one of those things where your team needs to really communicate and say, hey, either we're going to go in the mines and take the skulls really quick, and then go back and defend our base, or we're just going to, you know, leave the mines alone and go into mercenary camp capture mode and just get as many camps as we possibly can. So for us, this game, it worked out for us. Sometimes it doesn't. You know, if they send one guy down there, that's kind of the way you combat that. Is you send one guy down there, someone can clear waves really quick, and then they do that where the other 4 just kind of defend and try to hold the base. Level 10 time, we get the ultimate, and you see the Jug of 1,000 Cups. It's a really good sustaining ability. When I go ahead and pick up the water jacket, 2, 3. This is a really good example of what I was talking about with the kind of sustainability. So right now we have Malfurion, myself, and Demon Queen. Sure, it's just against 1 Witch Doctor, but we can just stand here, and right now I'm taking tower shots, we're taking damage from the Witch Doctor, and we just keep healing non-stop, and it's so powerful, and especially, I mean, in this game right now, if you kind of get a good team composition of, like a Malfurion or a LiLi and someone like Acid with shields, you can just really sustain allies to the point where you don't really ever have to go back to base. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with the storm once you do the picks. Right now it's just it makes the team composition for you. It'll be interesting to see when you kind of pick your 5 heroes in like a draft type of, to see what kind of strategies start coming out. And I think for a while it'll be really broken to kind of find a couple things that ruin the game, because there's definitely some games where you just have really good team synergy and you just steamroll, and there's other games where you don't feel that it just doesn't click. So the goal now is we're taking the mercenary camps because these are super important. LiLi's not going to do much damage by herself, but like I said in the beginning, you want to stick with the buddy. In this case, I'm just hanging out with Sergeant Hammer, and we're going to take this camp out actually fairly quickly. Comes over and helps out, and once again, just pop some heals off, low cooldown, not much mana. Don't worry about it. Just keep on spamming it. We're going to try to defend this. We really need to try to save that fort. We still are at level up, but we don't want to lose it. Right there too, the little dance goes doing where I go in, I use the blinding wind, try to hit as many as I possibly can, and then I get out. So right there, I was able to survive just because of the heal. We ended up chasing them down here, and we're able to take a lot too long. There we go. That's good. The Witch Doctor, it's way too aggressive. We pick off all 3, now we're up 2 levels, and it is time for level 13. Level 13 is a little bit interesting of a level, it's kind of hard to decide. The free trade is always really nice to shut somebody down. Blinding Wind is nice as well because it also slows the targets by 25%. I go ahead and pick that up this game because I already have, we hit all 5 targets, and we miss the next attacks. Might as well just keep making that ability better, because that's kind of my bread and butter. Get in, use that, use as much as I possibly can. Actually pick up the kill there. Dragon Ult does quite a lot of damage. Pop it, whatever that is, you're going to kill it. It doesn't kill the enemy hero. Push them back, and then back to just sieging. So Sergeant Hammer's going to be shooting down their base. Myself and Malfurion are just going to be healing each other. We're just going to sit here and siege. There's no need for us to go anywhere. There's 2 of them dead. We have 1 ally who just came back up, coming towards us. Meanwhile, Tychus is down in the mines, taking all the skulls, so the enemy team has to try to defend this, rather than going down in the mines. Once we take it out, now we should just back up. There's no need to be here. Towers are not worth anything other than just try that you kill the tower. You really need those forts. Those are the only ways to experience forts here.
Choose a talent.
Reaction, telling them to get out of here. I have no more mana, so there's no need to stay here and fight, but Mr. Hammer wants to get a little aggressive. As you see too, my mana regeneration isn't that bad, considering that I didn't get half of the wizard. Could be worse. Some hero reges are completely useless, where at least with LiLi's abilities, they're all pretty spammable, that you don't need a ton of mana to kind of sustain yourself. And this is the rank I was talking about. So rank 16, LiLi throws a drink to the 2 lowest health allies near her. There's a couple other abilities in there that are worth getting, but for this game, just with myself, Malfurion, with the lead we have, and with the team fighting we've been doing, we've done a really good job of just grouping up and going. Might as well keep going and just grouping and go, because we have a really good team fight team. Not necessarily because we're the strongest, most damage output team, but because with Sergeant Hammer sitting in the back just shooting and sieging, Demon Hunter able to kind of just shoot and kite, and then us two healing, really just fight. The longer the fight, the better it is for us, just for that sustainability.
Sounds fun.
We ought to take this first.
Poor Malfurion gets caught out here. Slow him. He'd die either way. Maybe without that.
We gotta capture this mercenary king.
You see our goals a lot stronger at 66 to their 34 because Tychus went down there. The more important thing though is we're taking these mercenary kings. Don't ever underestimate how damn good mercenaries are. You see here we got 4 of the range ones, and they're just going to be firing away and stuff. A lot of damage, they're hard to kill, and you just can't once again, the same thing here, get in the middle, use the blending blade. Toss out heals, try to get out. Go ahead, as you can. So I put on right now. Another kill right there, 2 heals, don't die. And just keep fighting. Slow 2 more. Okay, stun off is always very, very nice. I think that shows really, really well what LiLi's good at. You can be in those giant fights and you don't have to worry about thinking, okay, who am I going to heal? And clicking the button. You just literally tap the button and it hits the person who's the best target for that heal. Sure, you can't prioritize it if one guy's at 10% about to die and you know I'm not going to save it. You'd rather use it on someone who's at 50%. But at the same time, tossing out 2 of them at a time, you can just throw them out there non-stop in the middle of a team fight. You don't have to worry about who it's going after. So you just constantly, every cooldown you see right now, just constantly, just keep hitting it, keep hitting it, keep hitting it. Probably taking the base out. So this was a pretty short game, but I hope it showed you guys kind of what LiLi is good at. She isn't the most exciting hero in Heroes of the Storm right now. She's kind of made to be the initial step into the game type hero. She's one of the easiest supports in the game, and obviously supports are usually a little bit easier than the rest of the classes. So if you're coming into your Heroes of the Storm fresh, this is kind of the hero to start with, just to get a feel of the maps and the way the game is. Because you don't need to worry too much about positioning and mechanics and all that stuff. You just need to constantly be using your heals, hit as many people with your blinding line as possible. And the Serpent, I mean, it helps if you throw it on people, but at the same time, it doesn't do enough to just be super important. So if you forget about it or you misclick it, it's not the end of the world. The key though is that heal, just hitting Q constantly, constantly, constantly. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of Heroes of the Storm. If you want more Heroes of the Storm content or other game content, please subscribe to our channel over at flipsidetactics.com. Where you can find the link on flipsidetactics.com. And you can follow me on Twitter at IndieFinch. That's INDIEFINCH. Till then, I'll see you guys next time over here on Flipside Tactics.
Competition, tell them they don't want no static. This is not your ordinary, this is Flipside Tactics. This is domination among the things you've been waiting for. Headed to the top, if we make it there, we'll be taking more. There's no I in team, but something I guarantee is when you look into my eyes, it's determination you see. It goes without implication, innovation is at our eyes. So take a walk with a boss first, pick on Flipside. Flipside Tactics, everybody in factions gather around and come and take a piece of the action. I'm talking the main attraction, so bring it a little closer. Maximum exposure, kid, the name of the game is go. Lay the drink down on the coast and then grab a hold of the keyboard. Ready to get it started, we blowing up like a C4. And every you know that we going in. We got the host with the most, and you know I'm talking